Right, a quick little video to talk about what I took with me on my bike packing adventure. On the right hand side, as you can see, I started off with everything that I attached to the bike. My tent, which is a 2 kilogram mountain warehouse tent. I'll put the links to all these products below so you can have a look at them yourself. I got it in the sale actually. It should have been £100. I got it for 50, so it was a bit of a bargain, and it's a nice little tent. I'll show it you set up as well. It actually looks pretty small, but it is a 2-man tent and there's more room inside it than what you think. I like it because it's quite stealthy as well, so I'll show you the inside. It is quite roomy. It looks small, but when you're in it, plenty of room at the top for my head. Moving on from the tent, we have my mat. This is quite a nice little mat. It's self-inflatable. Again, it was relatively cheap. You just twist the nozzle and it blows up. I'll show you that now as well. Absolutely love this mat. We're cheap as well, so I'm going to do a review of everything for people who want to get stuff kind of cheap. So what I love is self-inflatable. You just turn that nozzle so it can go up while you're setting everything up. Plus, if you ever do get a puncture or whatever, it's still thick enough to sleep on even before it's even blown up. And then finally on the back of the bike I just put some extra spare clothes and a rain jacket just inside one of these bags. So the tent, mat and spare clothes were attached to the back of the bike. I also had one of these two triangles. One of them went to the back, which had all my battery banks in, compass, spare batteries for my torch, things like that, a few repair kits, items for the camera. And in the other one, I put a spare bottle of fluids in, Lucozade, something like that. And I put some snacks in and coffee, things that I could eat along the way. And then the final thing was the gel seat. I bought an extra additional seat because I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. So I actually had 3 layers. I had my shorts with the padding, my gel seat and the actual bike seat itself. And this little torch, this is a handy little thing for the bike because it saves me having to take another torch when I'm in the tent. That one just detaches from the bike and it's quite a high powered torch, so that's handy to have on the front of the bike. And that's everything that was attached to the bike. Now for the backpack, it was a relatively smallish backpack. It's only a 40 litre. To the bottom of that I attached my flip-flops just for the night time when I was on the campsite and things, just to change my feet up a bit. And in the front I put a first aid kit, lighter, even though my stove is self-lightable. I had the lighter just in case, and some earplugs just in case it was raining and I was struggling to sleep. And in the front of my pack that I've always got, it's just a little camping mat that I've cut down to size that I use as a seat now. So that just goes into the front. Inside I put the Langria sleeping bag. It's a 3-season sleeping bag. I do actually love that sleeping bag because it's got pockets inside. You can put phone, heat pads, things like that inside it. It's also, it can be mummified. You can tighten it up at the top, at the head, so it mummifies. But I do find mummified ones a bit too restrictive for me, so I loosen it off a little bit. It does go really tight, but not too tight. When I turn around in my sleep, it still doesn't move with me, so I can still have a bit of freedom to move. So I do really like it, but obviously if it does go really cold, you can tighten it up with the pull strings, the drawstrings, and it will get tighter. But it's a really comfortable sleeping bag, and it goes perfectly with that mat. So I love that little thing, and that again was pretty cheap, relatively cheap. I'll add a link below. Then we have my cook kit, my Andes cook kit, which again I'll put below. It's 2 pans. Inside that I have my stove, my little screw-on stove, which screws directly onto the gas bottle, and just my cup and a fork just to eat my meals. And that's relatively it for the cooking kit and the stove. It's quite small and compact, so I do like that. The heaviest thing's actually the gas. And then last but not least, I take the pillow, the inflatable pillow. That goes really small, so that's handy. And I've also got a little plastic case in here that holds my toothpaste, a tiny toothbrush, and some soap, just to have a wash and things. And to the left of that, I have got some toilet paper inside a waterproof bag. because obviously the last thing you want is it getting wet, so I put that in the middle of my backpack in the waterproof bag. And that is everything I took with me, bar the meal. I only took one meal, just a Wayfarer meal, which you can see in the video. It was quite a nice meal, meatballs and pasta. I just took that with me because you can eat them cold as well, so they're quite handy that if you do have a problem with your gas, you've still got a meal. And then I just picked things up along the way from garages and things. But yeah, I really enjoyed the adventure. You can still subscribe on the links below and donate. Thanks everybody for watching. See you again.